folks, Cumberland Outdoorsman here with you again, and what I'm bringing you today are some close call hunts during this past turkey season. Today is May the 23rd, it's a Saturday, and we're a week out from the close of the Tennessee turkey season of 2020. The season was over last Sunday, and we're hoping that the turkey flock is making a good comeback. And from what I've seen this year, I can tell that there are more turkeys in the woods than there have been in the previous 3 or 4 years now. Not sure what really happened to them. It could have been a disease or something else that caused the decline in the turkey population, but from all the evidence I've seen, it looks like the turkeys are making quite a comeback. I've seen several large flocks this past season and had a lot of close encounters with gobblers, and speaking of which, I'll be bringing you some of those on this video. In the video you'll see a lot of footage of just the woods and a lot of audio where I'm calling to not only the gobblers but also the hens. And in the last video that I posted regarding turkey hunting, I actually harvested a nice gobbler, and that was on April the 11th. I did quite a bit of calling there, but that was actually what was working for that particular turkey, and there were 2 of them that came in. And I never got on those birds again, but I was able to harvest that one turkey, and there was actually another gobbler further up, and I suspect that was the dominant bird of that area. Along with the turkeys that I've seen in the woods and that I've encountered in different areas here, I also found a few nests, and most of the nests have an average of about a dozen to 16 eggs per nest. Now, we did find one nest that was ruined because the cold temperatures that fell overnight looked like they froze the eggs to death, and the hen was not sitting on the nest. But if that hen survived, which I'm not sure if she did or not, she could have been killed by a coyote or something, but usually if a hen loses a nest, she's able to actually produce another nest of eggs without having to breed again, because they can actually store the sperm from the gobbler that bred her in her oviduct and produce another clutch of eggs. And that's just nature's way of assuring that the species will continue. So, you know, nature has its way of taking care of itself. So, like I said, you know, from the nests that we found and the amount of birds that we saw in the woods this year, the evidence is strong that the turkeys are making quite a resurgence, at least here in this part of Tennessee. In the first video, I set up real tight on these birds, and that's what I usually try to do, is get in close to roosted birds. I'll go in the evening and I'll hear them fly up where I know there's turkeys, and I'll try to get in there close early the next morning so that when they fly down, I'm pretty much right there where they are. Happened several times this year. I just wasn't able to close the deal. You know, I just, for some reason or another, things just didn't happen to work out. It's been quite frustrating, but you know, that's hunting. You just have to take it as it comes. But anyway, I had 2 birds land right next to me, I mean within 10 yards, and they were on the wrong side. I wasn't really ready for that. But like I said in the video, I could have probably shot left-handed, but they were so close I was just afraid to move because they were looking right at me there, you know. And that's the thing that they key in on quite often is movement, and then they identify you and then they're just gone. I could have also probably stood up and went around the tree and shot either one of those birds, but I wanted to get them on video for you, you know, instead of just killing the bird. But maybe I'll have to resort to that, you know, in future hunts, so as to actually get the harvest on video without without ruining the hunt. So in the second video, we get in close on some roosted hens, and there's some gobblers just down the ridge from there. And one of the hens, I actually got her on video while she was on the roost and flying down. I tried calling to the lead hen to bring her in and hopefully bring the gobblers in with her. But what happened is that the gobblers flew down above us and went over a ridge and went off into a field, and of course the hens followed, you know. And from seeing the hen coming off the roost, you'll see her fly down towards the birds, or the gobblers. And that's, you know, that's just the way it's supposed to work in nature. You know, the hens go to the gobblers, and that's the reason they gobble, because they want to bring the flock to them. But you know, as the season progresses, a lot of times when the hens start to nest, as you probably already know, once those hens leave the gobblers and they find themselves alone, they're more vulnerable to calling. And we tried that this year, but you know, it just seemed like the hens stayed with the gobblers so late in the season that we just couldn't get it together, really. But one good positive note of that is we know that those turkeys will be around next year. Well, we hope so anyway, if they survive. And my suspicion is, since they hang around in that one area quite often, they're pretty well protected right there, and should be able to encounter those again in upcoming seasons. Speaking of upcoming seasons, right now we have a spring squirrel season here in Tennessee, and I believe that's till June the 10th, if I'm not mistaken, June 11th. I'm not real sure, but it's somewhere in there. So I'll try to get out and maybe do some squirrel hunting if the weather permits. And then hopefully in the fall, if we get enough turkeys here in this county, the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency will open a fall turkey season for us, and I'll try to bring you that as well. But anyway, without talking too much, here's a few of the hunts. I get a few good close-ups. Some of the hens actually came in so close. I mean, at one time they were 3 yards away from us, and the gobblers just didn't come in. You know, it just wasn't meant to be. There were gobblers there, but they just didn't follow those hens. So here are the hunts, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Okay, folks, I just came over here to see if I could get a turkey to gobble. Just as I walked here, one flew from right there, right over to there, and then another one is right up here. I don't know if it's a hen or a gobbler, but I kind of have a feeling it might be a gobbler. Another one just flew right there. There's two more that just flew up. That means I need to be in here tomorrow morning early, before dark or before light. And it also means that I need to stay here till dark. Not sure if there's a gobbler in there with them. Just can't tell for sure. I do know there are turkeys here. There's one roosted right up here, and one right up here, and one right over there, one up here, another one right there. Just flew up. Another one just flew up down there. see, he's right. Right there. I was going to follow this draw down and see if they would roost over there, but I heard some wings flapping and I looked and I saw a turkey fly that way, so I just froze right here. Sounded like a group of about a dozen or so turkeys, because I heard several more fly up just over there. But I think if I can get right up here early in the morning and set up, maybe get a decoy right up in here somewhere, might be able to get one to fly down in front of me, or at least come in. So you never know where to set up right away. Sometimes turkeys can move on you even at night, but usually they'll stay put once they've roosted. But wherever they gobble, that's where I'm going to be in the morning. I have a feeling they'll be gobbling right here in these woods. I'll wait a few more minutes and then I'll get out of here. Well, I think I pretty safely got away from them there. I know it's getting dark, but I didn't want to blow it, you know. Get up out of here, get away from them, so that they'll stay here tonight. I haven't heard the first gobble yet. A lot of times you'll hear them gobbling going up on a roost. Not yet. We'll probably be right back in here in the morning, folks. Those turkeys are roosted right up here in these trees, in these bigger oak trees and stuff. Maybe we'll get lucky. Okay, folks, I made it in here this morning. It's now, let's see what time it is here. 5:48. It's 5:48 right now, and I know there's turkeys roosted around here. I heard a turkey gobble about 80 yards that way, but I know from coming in here last night, as you saw, there it is right there. He's gobbling right now. I knew there was a gobbler in here, but I slipped in here quiet. I didn't hear anything fly off, so maybe I can call him right down here.
gobbler here. One back behind me. Believe it, two gobblers just flew right in front of me. I couldn't move my gun. They flew right within 10 yards of me. Still got one on the roost up here. I was sitting at the wrong angle. He flew in right here, and then another one right over here. I couldn't move. They spooked and ran behind me. I don't know, maybe another one will fly in here. We'll see. I got my decoy right there. there still on the roost. I've got a hen right down here and another gobbler right behind me. 2 gobblers at close range right there. This bird I was working over here, he's done moved off. I just heard him gobble again 200 yards up that way. I mean, you know, if they had landed straight in front of me or a little bit off to the left, I'd have had a shot. But I couldn't move because they were right there looking at me. Unbelievable. That's the way it goes in turkey hunting, though. Now he just sounded off again right there. He got hens with him. And hens that were up here flew off and met those other 2 gobblers. And some of them pitched off that hill over here, went that way. And I suspect they got with him. Head net's not wanting to cooperate this morning. Well, it almost worked. That's as close as you can get without getting him. And at that range, my shot pattern would have been about that big around, you know, if that. I'd have blown his head right off. Now he's moving off. He's even further now. He's done moved away from here. Yeah, those other 2 gobblers, they took off and ran up the hill here, got in behind me. I heard them gobble a few times and they got with them other hens. I think the best thing to do is to leave them alone for right now. Let them settle down, get back into their usual routine. But, I mean, I couldn't tell if that first one was a gobbler because all I saw was his head and it was still a little bit dark. Then he stepped up and I could see his beard. And when that second one flew down, he was just over the rise a little bit. He was a bigger bird. Just couldn't get on him. You know, yeah, he's still sounding off up there. Maybe if I'd swung my gun and shot left-handed, I might have got him. I ain't used to doing that, but I guess I'll have to. I've done it before. I was just scared to move because they were right there in my lap. I mean, that one was like 8 yards away, and the other one maybe 12. If they had moved off a little bit, that didn't happen. They spotted me, I guess. That's the thing about a wild turkey, they can sure see. And you don't have to be moving for them to spot you. They can pick you out. Alright folks, just to show you, I was sitting right there where my gun is under that big tree, big oak tree. And turkey was right there. That one was there, and then the other one landed over on this side. I couldn't tell if either one of them had a beard until they got right up on me. And I couldn't move anyway because I was so close, you know. But they flew down right there next to me, as you saw in the video. I mean, the turkey was standing right there. And it's just, right there's my tree. Anyway, they ran up this hill, and then they went over, and I suspect they got with those hens over there. So we'll let them do their thing, you know. Let them get settled down. I can't hunt right over there anyway. I can further down, but I'd rather leave them alone for right now. See, that first bird was gobbling up here. That's the one that I zoomed in on. That was a gobbler. And then there was one over here, and that was the bigger one that flew down right here. I heard him gobble in the background. So that's the way it goes, you know. I was hoping that they'd fly down right over here and come right into my decoy, which they could have, because that's more open. A lot of times they like to fly and land in a little bit more open woods. And then I had a turkey gobbling over here, and then one further down that way. So that's, I think, 4 gobblers this morning, right here. And I know I heard a jake caulking over here. I got that on video too. Well, we'll give it another try. The season ain't over yet, folks. Still see? I don't see him anymore. I just seen him 2 times. 2 turkeys. No, I seen him twice. Oh, okay. They won't go in that straw grass over to the left. They're going to cut through right here and head up the hill. That's what's going to happen. I've done it many times. Two strutters right here. unless you want to just take that one. That first one, keep floating around. I'd set it back the other way. Yeah, but look at these hands right here. They're looking at us hard. Don't move. I'm not. Well, howdy folks. Today's April the 18th, Saturday. And I'm sitting here at the same tree where I was at, where I didn't get a shot at those two gobblers that flew in on me. And right over here and over there, I just saw some turkeys fly up on roost. And that's a good thing. I'll show you where they are. One just flew right there, one over there, and one up there. And we've got a blind built just on the other side over there. So we'll be here in the morning. This is on the other side of this ravine here, this valley. Those gobblers that we saw earlier in the field were just over that hill. So they're coming off the roost, going through these woods here and going back into that field. And we got a lot of times they travel right to that corner. They're roosting right here in the same general area most of the time. The other morning we had a gobbler over here, one back here, one in the tree right above me, and then one directly back over this way. Oh, and another one down there. So there were quite a few here gobbling the other morning. I'm looking at a turkey right there. Right in there I just spotted some wing flapping. So they're roosted right over our blind over there. We'll be back in there in the morning. Maybe this time things will work out where we can both harvest another turkey. Another one just flew up. Okay folks, today is what, the 19th? Sunday. And we're successfully snuck in here under these turkeys that were roosted. There's one right there in the tree above us. One just gobbled, owls started calling. Yeah, owls were calling, one gobbled right up there. So we'll see what the morning brings. Now it's just a matter of time. Oh yeah. See that decoy. First gobble of the morning, and we're right here. Right under. That's good. I figured if we come in here and slip in here without spooking. About another 5 minutes or so, they'll fly down. I hear the first hen tree yelp. I'll start doing some real soft yelping.
Listen to all those turkeys. There we go.
She went that way. That's good. He's over there. She went that way.
There's gotta be 15, 20 turkeys up there. Listen.
Oh, we like that. There's more than that one gobbler here, I guarantee you. There's turkey roosted over there.
There's several of them all over
Right there.
2 or 3 go.
That's all I did the other morning, really, when they landed right next to me. You still see them?
Yeah, I see 3 of them. Where are they going? They're just standing up there. Was that another one back that way? Oh, that was up there. He's going that way with them. Yeah. He's facing that direction. There she goes. See?
Perfect flat down.
Now she's gonna go run if we catch up to him.
Well, folks, that bird sounds like he's moved off a little bit, but he doesn't want to come into this setup. I don't know what's going on. I think he's got hens with him. I think that's what's going on there. He's acknowledging me, letting me know that he's there. He's gobbling back. I think he's saying, hey, come over here and join the party, you know. See what he does here. I don't know, he sounded closer that time. Let's see. Let's sit here for a minute, just see what happens.
Well, as you can tell from the video and from those hunts, we were pretty well set up in the right places to call to gobblers, and had lots of responses. You know, they just didn't want to commit and come in. And in most cases, they already had hens with them. or the hens were coming to them. So, you know, that's a really tough call for any turkey hunter. You know, trying to get a gobbler to come to you when he has hens right there with him. I mean, there's no reason for him to break away from those hens to come to one hen that's back there calling in the woods. You know, he's not answering you and gobbling back at you because he thinks you're a hunter back there calling to him. He's calling because he thinks you're a hen. And what he's trying to do by gobbling back is to get you to come in and join the rest of them. And you know, you're being reluctant to come in because as a hunter, you don't want to spook the birds. So a lot of times what happens is those hens will lead that gobbler away, as you could hear in the video. So anyway, in the video, you can hear quite a bit of turkey vocalization, and I was fortunate enough to capture a lot of that. And if you want to hear what a wild turkey sounds like, you'll hear it in the background. And there's lots of other videos on YouTube, you know, that show wild turkey hens yelping and cutting and clucking and everything, so that you can practice your calling. And that's kind of what I go by. I still have room to improve. You know, I'm constantly trying to improve my calling, and I'm going to get some different cut mouth calls for next year, maybe even a few more friction calls. But from seeing the footage and hearing the audio, you'll know what wild turkey hens sound like, and also you can hear some jakes back there making sounds. You know, they're making their caulking sounds. And jakes can also gobble. It sounds a little bit different than a mature turkey gobbling. It's usually much shorter and a little bit higher pitched, and you can kind of tell they're attempting to gobble. But occasionally you'll run across a jake that gobbles pretty good, you know. He's loud and it sounds like an adult bird, and I've run into a few of those before. Those are what I call super jakes. They're usually a little bit older than the rest of the young gobblers, young jakes. But anyway, I'm going to quit talking here and you know, wish you well. I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned a little something from it. I certainly did. You know, even reviewing the videos after experiencing the hunt, I think to myself, you know, I should have done this or I should have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have set up there. Maybe a little different setup approach would have worked better. So you know, you just have to learn by doing. So anyway, until next time, my friends, I hope you all have a great summer. I'll be bringing you some more videos. I'll be doing a lot of fishing, and I've also got a few more turkey videos. And remember, if you can get outdoors and you like to go hunting or fishing, camping, hiking, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And also, hit the like button, punch that bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this will be coming your way. Y'all take care, my friends.